Imagine this. You're at a party, music thumps, champagne glasses clink, and there she is. The woman you've been chasing, standing close, laughing with someone else. You walk up, you wrap her in a hug, and in that 2-second contact, she feels something she can't explain. Her heartbeat speeds. Her mind races. She starts wanting you more, without you saying a word. How? It's not luck. It's not charm. It's not money or looks. It's psychology, timing, and subtle physical mastery. In this video, I'm going to teach you the 4 hug secrets every man should know. How to trigger desire instantly. How to read her response without overthinking. How to build attraction using nonverbal cues. And how to turn a simple hug into long-term pull. By the end of this video, you'll know how to make her crave your presence just from a simple embrace. Introduction. Why a hug is more than a hug. Explain how physical contact triggers subconscious attraction, desire, and emotional connection. Set the stage for psychological impact and female behavioral response. Hug Secret 1. Timing and intention. How the moment you choose to hug her affects emotional response. Discuss context, subtle cues, and observing emotional energy before initiating contact. Hug Secret 2. Body alignment and subtle dominance. How your body posture, shoulder alignment, and slight forward presence communicate confidence, masculinity, and emotional security, making her feel both safe and attracted. Hug Secret 3. Touch, pressure, and micro movements. Using strategic hand placement, gentle tension, and micro adjustments to create subconscious excitement, emotional spikes, and comfort simultaneously without appearing invasive. Hug Secret 4. Eye contact and follow-up behavior. How post-hug gaze, tone of voice, and subtle teasing or conversation solidify attraction, reinforce desire, and build long-term pull. Bonus psychological insights. How women's minds interpret hugs, why emotional spikes happen during short embraces, and how to leverage these instincts ethically to increase your appeal. Closing transformation. Recap the 4 hug secrets. Reinforce male frame emotional control and subtle sexual tension, and encourage implementation to instantly elevate attraction and desire. Introduction. Why a hug is more than a hug. Most men think a hug is just a hug, a polite gesture, a casual touch. Wrong. A hug is a psychological amplifier. It communicates confidence, warmth, and emotional presence all at once. The right hug can trigger desire, build attraction, and create a subconscious pull that lasts long after you release her. Picture this, you're at a lounge, she's laughing with friends. You walk over, wrap her in a hug, and she feels it. The subtle tension, the weight of your presence, the assurance that you control your emotions and your environment. Women are wired to read physical and emotional cues before they even think consciously. A man who can hug with intention signals masculine energy and confidence, emotional stability and control, attraction without desperation. Most men fail here because they hug from the ego, thinking they need to impress or seek validation. That's why her mind barely notices them, or worse, she feels awkward. Actionable step. Before you hug her, center yourself, breathe, check your posture. Are your shoulders relaxed? Is your chest open? Is your energy calm, not frantic? This 2-second preparation is what separates the men women can't forget from the men they ignore. Now let's dive into the first secret. Hug Secret 1. Timing and intention. Timing is everything. A hug at the wrong moment can destroy attraction. A hug at the perfect moment can ignite it. Scenario. You notice she's slightly tense after a conversation with someone else. Her posture leans subtly away, her smile is polite but not warm. If you rush in, your hug feels needy. But if you wait, observe, and approach with calm confidence, your hug becomes a reward for her subtle curiosity. Timing also communicates emotional awareness. A man who senses her mood and chooses the right moment demonstrates high value without saying a word. Actionable step. Watch her micro behaviors, eye contact, body orientation, energy level. Approach when she's slightly curious, slightly intrigued. Hold your intention. You are giving comfort, not demanding approval. Secret. Hugging in high-energy social moments versus private moments has different effects. Public hugs communicate dominance, safety, and social proof. Private hugs communicate intimacy, trust, and subtle sexual tension. Master both. The men women feel drawn to aren't those who hug impulsively. They are men who know when to hug, why to hug, and what energy they bring into it. Hug Secret 2. Body alignment and subtle dominance. Your body speaks more than your words. When you hug a woman, subtle shifts in shoulder alignment, torso angle, and chest pressure convey confidence. Scenario: you hug her slightly from the front, aligning your chest with hers. Your shoulders are square, not stiff. You lean in just enough to communicate protection without overpowering. She feels safe, intrigued, and unconsciously attracted. This is subtle dominance, showing control without aggression, security without arrogance. Actionable step: stand tall, chest open, shoulders relaxed. Let your center of gravity communicate strength. Slightly lean forward, just enough to convey presence, not pressure. Micro movements like a tiny squeeze or shift in weight signal attentiveness and energy awareness. Secret: dominance isn't about forcing her. It's about presence and emotional control. The man who can hug without losing his calm frame triggers attraction through body language alone. Hug secret 3: touch, pressure, and micro movements. The hands and arms are tools of subconscious communication. Scenario: a subtle hand on her upper back, a light touch near the waist depending on comfort level, or a micro adjustment in the hug can create excitement and emotional spikes. She doesn't consciously notice, but her mind records it. Actionable step: use gentle pressure. Avoid being stiff or limp. Micro movements, slight sway, tiny directional shifts signal attentiveness and emotional energy. Your hands should communicate comfort and subtle interest, not control. Secret: women are wired to respond to touch that balances safety and arousal. Too much pressure, discomfort. Too little, blandness. Perfect micro-tuning creates desire and curiosity. Hug secret 4: eye contact and follow-up behavior. Most men think the hug itself is the moment of attraction, but the truth is, the hug is only half the story. The real psychological impact happens after the hug ends, in the 2 to 5 seconds that follow. That small window determines whether the hug feels like a polite social gesture or a moment that lingers in her mind long after you walk away. This is where eye contact and follow-up behavior become powerful. When you release the hug, most men immediately break contact. They look away, step back awkwardly, or rush into conversation. That reaction signals uncertainty and kills the emotional tension that was just created. High-value men do the opposite. After stepping back, they pause for a brief moment. Their body language stays relaxed. Their shoulders remain open. And instead of instantly looking away, they hold eye contact for about 2 to 3 seconds. Not in an intense or intimidating way, just calm, steady, confident. This moment does something powerful psychologically. Eye contact activates emotional awareness and makes the interaction feel more personal and charged. It tells her that the moment mattered, even though you're not trying to force it. Then comes the follow-up behavior. A small smile, a relaxed tone of voice, a playful or teasing comment. Something simple like, "You've got that laugh today," dangerous stuff, or a light joke about something only the two of you understand. What this does is lock in the emotional state created during the hug. Instead of the moment fading, it transforms into a small shared experience between the two of you. And notice something important. The comment isn't needy, and it isn't overly romantic. It's light, confident, and slightly playful. That subtle playfulness creates a tiny spark of tension, which is often far more attractive than heavy compliments or obvious flirting. Another key detail is tone of voice. Speak slowly. Keep your tone low and calm. Avoid over-explaining or talking too much. Many men ruin the moment by filling the silence with nervous chatter. But silence, when combined with eye contact and a relaxed smile, can actually increase intrigue. In psychology, this works because the brain remembers emotional spikes, not neutral moments. When the hug is followed by a calm pause, eye contact, and a confident remark, it creates a small emotional peak. Later, she may not even remember the exact words you said, but she will remember how the moment felt. She'll remember that brief pause, that confident look, that relaxed smile. And those subtle signals communicate something deeper than words ever could. Presence and self-assurance. That's why socially intelligent men understand that attraction isn't built through one action alone. It's built through a sequence of small behaviors working together. The hug creates warmth. The alignment and touch create comfort, and the eye contact with confident, follow-up behavior seals the emotional impression. When all those elements come together, the interaction stops feeling ordinary. It becomes memorable. And that's the real secret. Women rarely remember the hug by itself. What stays in their mind is the combined emotional impact of the hug and the energy that followed it. That's why experienced men don't rush the moment. They understand that attraction often lives in those quiet, subtle seconds right after the interaction seems to be over. Bonus psychological insights. There's a reason why certain hugs feel ordinary, while others feel strangely memorable and emotionally charged. It isn't just physical touch. It's the psychology and biology happening underneath the surface. When a woman hugs a man who feels calm, grounded, and confident, her brain often activates emotional reward circuits. These circuits are linked to feelings of comfort, safety, and subtle excitement. The brain doesn't just register the physical contact. It evaluates the emotional energy coming from the person she's touching. If the man appears relaxed, present, and emotionally stable, the interaction can feel naturally pleasant and rewarding. This is partly because physical touch can trigger the release of certain neurochemicals. Two of the most well-known are dopamine and oxytocin. Dopamine is associated with pleasure and reward. When a moment feels enjoyable or exciting, dopamine activity increases, which helps the brain mark that experience as something worth remembering. Oxytocin, sometimes called the bonding hormone, is linked to feelings of trust and social connection. It can be released during positive social contact like hugs, especially when the interaction feels genuine and comfortable. Another interesting factor involves micro-expressions and body synchronization. During close physical contact, people often subconsciously read tiny facial cues and emotional signals. Small shifts in facial expression, tone of voice, and body tension can communicate a lot without a single word being spoken. At the same time, there can be subtle forms of physiological synchronization. For example, breathing rhythms may naturally align for a moment, and heart rates can become slightly more coordinated during calm physical closeness. These small biological signals help reinforce the feeling that the interaction is smooth and natural. But one of the strongest amplifiers of attraction is emotional calm. Many people assume attraction is driven only by physical looks or bold behavior. Yet emotional regulation, the ability to stay relaxed, composed, and present, often has a powerful effect on how someone is perceived. A man who appears emotionally steady can project a sense of security and groundedness. That calm presence can make interactions feel effortless rather than pressured. In many social situations, people are constantly scanning for emotional cues. If someone appears anxious, needy, or overly reactive, the interaction can feel tense. But when someone remains calm, self-assured, and comfortable with silence, it changes the atmosphere. The moment feels more natural, and the other person often relaxes as well. However, these insights should always be understood ethically. Psychological knowledge isn't meant to manipulate or pressure anyone. The goal of understanding social dynamics is to improve connection, confidence, and communication, not to override someone's comfort or boundaries. Healthy attraction always depends on mutual interest, respect, and consent. When physical touch like a hug happens in a context where both people feel comfortable, it can simply strengthen a moment of connection. It becomes a way of communicating warmth and presence rather than trying to control someone's emotions. So the real takeaway isn't about tricks or tactics. It's about presence. When someone is calm, respectful, emotionally grounded, and genuinely enjoying the interaction, those subtle psychological and biological responses tend to happen naturally, and that's ultimately what makes certain interactions feel effortless, authentic, and memorable. When you look at it closely, a hug isn't just a quick social gesture. It's a sequence of subtle psychological signals that communicate confidence, comfort, and emotional presence. And when these signals are aligned correctly, something simple can suddenly feel powerful and memorable. It starts with timing and intention. A hug should never feel forced, rushed, or awkward. The timing should feel natural within the interaction. When you approach with calm energy and clear intention, the hug feels smooth rather than uncertain. That calm confidence alone already sets a different emotional tone. Next comes body alignment and subtle dominance. This doesn't mean aggression or control. It simply means having relaxed, stable body language. Your posture is upright, your movements are unhurried, and your presence feels grounded. When your body language is composed, the hug naturally feels more secure and comfortable. Then comes touch and micro movements. Small details like a brief pause, a gentle tap on the back, or relaxed breathing can subtly shape how the moment feels. These tiny actions often go unnoticed consciously, but they help create a sense of warmth and connection during the interaction. After that, the moment transitions into eye contact and follow-up behavior. Once the hug ends, the interaction doesn't abruptly stop. A brief moment of eye contact, a relaxed smile, or a light, playful remark keeps the emotional momentum alive. That small pause signals confidence and comfort rather than nervousness. When all four elements come together, something interesting happens. A simple hug stops being just a greeting or goodbye. Instead, it becomes a moment of emotional connection, one that leaves a positive impression. So the real takeaway is simple: timing plus intention, body alignment plus confident presence, touch plus natural micro-movements, eye contact plus relaxed follow-up. Mastering these elements isn't about manipulation. It's about becoming more aware of your presence and communication. When you center yourself, stay calm, and interact naturally, people can feel that energy. Your presence feels more grounded. Your interactions become smoother, and connection happens more easily. And that's the real shift. Instead of chasing attention or approval, you focus on bringing calm confidence and genuine engagement into the moment. When that happens, people often respond positively, not because anything was forced, but because the interaction simply felt good and authentic.